What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Not So Pro Football Talk. We are trying something new that I don't believe we have done before. Today it's Saturday, and we are going live. We had such a great episode on Tuesday talking about fantasy football. We said, "Hey, why not? Let's help out some more. Let's spread some more love out there." I know wherever I go, I'm spreading love all over the place, man. I'm giving out fantasy advice. I'm helping out. So someone asked me, "Hey, should I keep Hardman?" And I said, why do you have Hardman in your starting lineup? It's as simple as that. Some people just need that extra help, and we are more than happy to do so. That's why we're here, you guys. We're here to help you guys out. And also learn along the way. We're learning as well as we go on. So it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun doing this, but we want to do this Saturday night because we start off early tomorrow. We got a game over there in London. I know Reed will be up bright and
Oh
early.
yeah,
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah.
he's gonna have that
Got
morning
pregame.
coffee up.
Mm-hmm.
He's ready to go. Okay, we got the Green Bay Packers going against the New York Giants, which people are already ruling out the Giants for the game. I wouldn't rule them out. They are a very competitive team, but it should be a fun game to watch nonetheless. Nothing like Thursday night football.
Yeah, hopefully, man. I'm not gonna wake up that early to have another stinker on Monday morning or
Correct.
Sunday morning. Sorry.
So, unlike Russell Wilson, we hope that you guys are cooking in your fantasy football league, okay? And if you're not, and if you're worried about some players, because we do have quite a few people that hit the injury list today and who are questionable, who are doubtful, who are game time decision type players for fantasy football, and they're big players. Like one big name, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a big name.
Mm-hmm.
And he's even more valuable, in my opinion, because DJ Chark has been ruled out.
Ooh.
So that leaves a lot of target receptions for him. But what about Reynolds? He's questionable too. Another game time decision. So if he is gone, DJ Chark is gone, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's gonna feast it up out there. Oh yeah, it's gonna skyrocket. Another person who was injured, which a lot of people are making a big commotion out of, is Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts has been ruled out of the game. Now, does this mean that Drake London is a must-start fantasy football player? What do you guys think? I have my answer, but I want to hear you guys. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one.
It's tough because they are going against that Buccaneers defense, which is very, very good and can lock up Drake London. But other than that, there's not a lot of other receivers to go to, and there's got to be some fantasy points scored in this game. They're not going to get shut out. So I would still feel good starting Drake London.
I don't know, man. I think Drake London's going to get the same production that he usually does. The guy that I think is going to get a lot more touches and stuff like that is Algier. I don't know if you're going to talk about him later on, but Cordell Patterson is also out. So that's another star that's out. He's a pass catcher. He gets the carries at least 15 times a game almost. I just think that Algier is going to take a big role in this, and Drake London is kind of going to get a little bit locked up with the pass defenders over there in the Buccaneers. So
Yeah, I mean, you could start Drake London if you are desperate in a desperate need for a flex, or if you're in desperate need for wide receiver. But is he a must start? In my opinion, I don't think so. Cal Pitts, by him being gone, uh, what is that doing for Drake London? Taking away 9 targets? No, that's not a big deal. I mean, if Drake London's not producing right now, then he's not going to pre producing much more without Kyle Pitts. I think the problem is Marcus Mariota and his target share, what he does. Obviously, Drake London's not being used to his fullest potential there fantasy wise, but of course they're just trying to win games, and they're a dog of a team, so they go out and they fight. But he is not a must start wide receiver. And you brought up a great point, Vincent Algier. I like him there as a fantasy slot with Cordell Patterson being out. He is going to be receiving a lot of targets, and not just targets, but those rush attempts as well. Is very eye appealing, big eye candy for that individual fantasy football. But yeah, don't fall for it. Drake London, he is not that must start guy. So let's all calm down. Let's take a breather. And like I said, just don't freak out. Now, I know a lot of people are also going to be talking about, hey, how about Garrett Wilson? Should I start Garrett Wilson? Should I start Brees Hall? What do the Jets look like? Hey, I'll tell you what, Garrett Wilson, I think he is in there for the long haul. I think he had to hit that restart button with Zach Wilson coming back in. So now he has to find that connection with that quarterback. I do believe he will be the target leader further down the season. Right now, not so much. Is he a must-start player? No. Can you start him? Yeah. Are you expecting big points? Don't expect big points. Breece Hall, should you start that guy? 100% start that guy. There's a fantasy bet, which we're going to get into later on. There's a fantasy bet that I want to take on Breece Hall, which is a no-brainer, which is my, hands down 100% foolproof bet that I want to share with you guys to help you guys make some money as well. We're going to be doing that for the first time ever in Not So Pro Football Talk, where we talk about betting and maybe help you guys out. And we're not sponsored by any betting website whatsoever. So if anybody's watching this, throw us a bone out there. But cool. There's a lot of injuries. What do you guys think about the Saints? Is Alvin Kamara a must-start player with Michael Thomas being out? Oh, Vince says no.
I have an emphatic no, because Kamara has not been producing at all whatsoever this season, and I don't see him producing against the Seahawks defense. Not saying that we're the cream of the crop when it comes to running defense, because we're not. We're at the bottom down there as of like defensive plays given up and how much yards we give up every game to running backs. But I don't think Kamara is going to be a big factor like he was last time we played the Saints, because last time we played the Saints, he was running all over us, and so was every other running back and their mother. But the guy that I think is going to be the game show host over there and taking over the game and possibly getting them the win is Olave. Right now, Michael Thomas is out for sure for this game, so I think Olave is going to be getting majority of the receptions, and majority, maybe even they might even give him a little run here and there. You never know. But I think that with the quarterback change and Andy Dillon, if he does start, or if they do keep Jameis Winston, I think the clear-cut number one wide receiver there right now is Olave. But I don't think Kamara will be too big of a impact.
Nice. You agree there, Reed?
I agree there. Alvin Kamara, he hasn't been doing a lot. I would expect maybe in the half of the season that he can start really getting some good points. But as far as right now, he has been next to nothing.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, I do have a lot of upside for Alvin Kamara, but he is coming off of injury himself. I do feel like he will be taking a lot of the workload, but Chris Olave is the guy on that team to start for sure. But yeah, if you do have Alvin Kamara, I say you start him. I say you start him in your flex position as a top two running back one or running back two. Unless you absolutely need it. Unless your name is Joseph Longoria, then yes, you should. But in your flex spot, I think you can sit down very nice and comfortable there if need be. Another team that's been dealing with injuries, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Rashad Bateman is out for the game. Running back Justice Hill is out for the game. Is J.K. Dobbins a must-start player? Full participant in practice. He's looking great. He had a great week last week. If he's on your roster, should you start him?
I would say yes. They're going against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals do have a decent defense. They hold their opponents to under, I think, 25 points is like the most that has been scored on the Bengals. But I think that J.K. Dobbins is going to be a presence just because Bateman is out. There's going to be more target share for him. And the last game that he played, he had a bunch of points. He made a statement when he came back. So I think him and Jackson are going to be the head runners there. It's just going to be Jackson and him. That's all you're going to hear the entire game. Jackson and Dobbins. Jackson and Dobbins. Well, when they're on offense, of course. But other than that, I think that the Bengals are going to struggle again. But who knows? Maybe it'll be a high-flying game just like we expected Joe Burrow to play.
Nice. What do you think, Reed?
I like starting Dobbins. He only had 13 rushing attempts again last week, but I think they're going to give him even more moving forward. They really like this guy. They're really happy to get him back. And when he has the ball in his hand, he does amazing things. I think this is a good start. No matter whatever your team looks like, I think you got to start Dobbins, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. And that was against Buffalo, too, when he played. He got 26 fantasy points when he played against Buffalo. So I think that's pretty good.
Well, good. I want to have a question for y'all because I'm in a scenario where I have J.K. Dobbins, but currently I don't have him starting. So tell
Oh,
me, should I start J.K. Dobbins? I think I know the answer because obviously we do this all the time, Vince and Reed. But I want to get y'all's opinion here. Help me win my fantasy game. This is my
Oh,
team. This is what it looks like. I got Joe Burrow, Christian McCaffrey, Jeff Wilson Jr., Tyreek Hill, Debo, Travis Kelsey, Chris Godwin starting. On my bench, that's where I got J.K. Dobbins, Brees Hall, Hilliard, Robinson, Stevenson, Marquise Brown, and Christian Kirk. Now, on that starting lineup, do you think I need to substitute someone to start J.K. Dobbins? I even have Brees Hall on the bench.
the only guy I would say is Jeff Wilson, but I really can't speak for the Niners because you know them way better than I do. And you watch every game, you know how much timeshare he's going to get. And I believe some of their running backs are injured as well, so Jeff Wilson's going to be the main carrier. But if I'm not 100% sure, but I think Carolina's defense is not the worst, but I'm not saying that they're the best either. So I'm not too sure where they rank in against running backs.
They rank 25th against the rush.
Ooh.
I don't know about fantasy wise,
Maybe.
but logistically in the league, they rank 25th defensively against the rush.
Now here's my thing. Just going on the other side of the ball, you are playing the Panthers. Do you think CMC is going to run all over and get enough points to score against the number 2 defense against the rush and the Niners?
No and yes. I don't think he's going to run all over the Niners. Do I feel like he's going to be taking on the workload for them? Yes, because that's the only person that's going to be able to get the ball. The Niners, as you guys know, have a top-notch defense. Vincent, the Niners got you over 20 points in defense last week. But here's the thing that I love. Nick Bosa is going against Ika Mekwanu, a rookie left tackle who's been struggling all year long. He's going to have a field day. Baker Mayfield has the lowest QBR rating of 75. That's bad. Okay. So DJ Moore's been struggling. He even voiced out that he wants a trade. DJ Moore needs a trade. Robbie Anderson started off the season not even liking Baker Mayfield. Christian McCaffrey, not only will he be getting the carries, which that's not what I'm worried about because I don't think he's going to be getting many yards, but he will be getting the targets. And that is what I'm looking forward to. They need a guy to get those short targets because Baker's going to be under a lot of pressure. The Niners have only allowed for the season 11.5 points. They rank first in that category. So by saying that they're going to score a touchdown, it's a compliment to the Carolina Panthers because offensively they're not the greatest. But I like CMC there because I feel like he is the only person that would be able to handle the ball for that team.
This is true. I'm looking right now at the league low yards per carry for running backs, and that's the Niners, and it's 3.8 yards. So I'm not too sure where they rank against like pass catching running backs because there's really not a stat for that. But I think that's the majority of where he'll get his points. Just like you said, like he's going to need Baker Mayfield's going to need someone to dump it down to, and that's going to be CMC for sure. So I mean, there is some plausibility there. It's just how much room are the 49ers going to give to him? That's my only question. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. But yeah, other than that, I think that's the only guy I would change him in there for. But maybe Chris Godwin as well, just because, I mean, when he came back, he only had, I think, 11 fantasy points. But he was coming off an injury, so I'm not 100% sure if he had a snap count. But yeah, I think the only guy that J.K. Dobbins could come in for is going to be Chris Godwin or CMC.
Yeah, 100% agree. I would substitute J.K. Dobbins in for either of those two, in my opinion. CMC, I think his max is 15 points against the Niners. I think J.K. Dobbins is his floor is 15 points, in my opinion.
His floor, wow.
I think for this game, yes, I think so, in my opinion. So I would substitute him in for CMC or Chris Godwin easily.
Wow.
Nice. Let me show you guys something. So you guys are not really fighting me too much on Jeff Wilson. He is, ranked 30th amongst fantasy running backs. But this is what I like. Okay, as far as I guess it doesn't show here. It shows on the app. but he got 74 yards last week and 1 touchdown. It wasn't nothing too crazy, right? But he is now the bell cow of the team with our starting running back out, and also our backup running back, which is TDP, our rookie, who is doing very well. He's sadly out. So he is obviously the bell cow. He will be gaining the touches and will be gaining the yards little by little. It's there. Now, I'm going to try something fun here, okay? So this is my lineup, and this is what I chose. You guys saw my roster. I would like for you guys to adjust my roster, and that is what I'm going to be going with this week.
Let's see. Go.
Are we allowed to screw you?
If that's what you want. But this is my roster, and I'm trusting you guys. This is my bench. Because we are Team NSP and we are representing. Don't forget the rude comments that we've all
this is true.
countered.
This is true.
But I do need to catch up to you. This is also true.
Remember who I'm going up against.
Are you going against Seth?
I'm going against Joseph Longoria.
Oh, dude, we can put anybody in there. We can put anybody. Look,
defense scored 14
give Joseph
points.
the best chance to win, okay?
His projection is like 100 points max, AJ. Even
his
with
his
that
defense scored 14 points. He is now projected to get 120 points, I think.
Oh, really? It's gone
Yes.
up? Okay. Let's see. The guy that's screaming to me because of what you've been preaching so far is Ramondre Stevenson. But in my opinion, I don't think that he's going to be the number one back. I think if anything, him and Damian Harris are going to go 50-50 on carries right now. I think they're going to test the waters and see who the real true number one running back is. So I would not put him in. Other than J.K. Dobbins, I really don't like anybody on there. Marquise Brown did do decent in the beginning of the season. I'm not too sure how he did last week. I think I saw something that he had like 4 points, or it might have been another receiver. But also Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk has not been up to par lately either.
He had a bad week last week.
Yeah. So other than that, on matchup, I think the only guy for me is J.K. Dobbins and maybe Christian Kirk because he's going against Houston. But also Houston does have some ball hawks over there in the corner position and safety position. So
what about Breece Hall? We always talk about the guy.
He's going up against Miami.
Tough defense.
The defense is pretty tough. I think the only thing that will help them is that Tua is out.
Yeah, so right he's going to be...
Yeah. So right now, I think that game is going to rely on the run game, so I don't think that Breece Hall has too much time to have the ball in his hands just because that clock is going to be going. You know, it's going to be a bunch of dunk passes by Bridgewater. Tyreek Hill is going to be getting the ball behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be doing some little squirmy wormies up there trying to get a touchdown. And then I don't think Jalen Waddle is going to be in effect on the game either. It's just going to be all running. So I think that's my thing with Breece Hall. I don't think he's going to have enough time to have enough success.
Could I suggest something?
I want to hear it.
Let's move J.K. Dobbins and kick out CMC.
Oh, okay.
And then we move in Breece Hall and kick out Chris Godwin.
Oh, so you want to go running back heavy for sure?
I think so.
Is that what you guys are agreeing upon?
I think Breece Hall can outscore. I think he can outscore Chris Godwin. And I think J.K. Dobbins can outscore CMC. Now, because CMC outscored Breece Hall.
That was my next question.
That was my
yeah. I think I would personally put J.K. Dobbins as the RB1 and CMC as the flex. Just because, I mean, they're both going to be in the lineup, but, you know, just like the hierarchy stuff, I think J.K. Dobbins is going to perform very well. Like I said, I think it's just going to be him and Lamar you're going to be hearing about.
All right. I think the biggest thing is, who do we sub out for Chris Godwin? I don't like Chris Godwin in that lineup with all these bench players.
Yeah, I mean, a couple videos back, AJ made a perfect scenario. He said, if Mike Evans is scoring a lot of points, Chris Godwin is not. If Chris Godwin is scoring a lot of points, Mike Evans is not. And right now, I think Tom Brady, with all the stuff that's going on over there, you know, I think he believes a little bit more in Mike Evans at this point. So I think he's his number one.
Okay.
So, I definitely like the J.K. Dobbins switch with CMC, But I personally think CMC should be in the flex. Not personal.
So is that what we're doing? We're
Yeah.
replacing J.K. Dobbins with the RB1 and RB1's moving now to flex.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are adjusting my lineup. If I lose, it's on y'all.
Hey,
Hope you guys know that.
it's not.
Hey, man, we gave you the benefit of the doubt and we left Jeff Wilson in there. Hopefully he scores like another 16, 17 points like he usually has been right now.
There we go.
Yeah.
You guys like that? That's my starting line. Joe Burrow, J.K. Dobbins, Jeff Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Debo Samuel, Kelsey, and CMC. Still looks like a solid team to me.
Heck yeah, especially when you're going against J-Lo.
Oh, yeah. See, look, there he is. He scored 14 points already just with his defense.
Jeez. Good luck, AJ.
I want to go ahead and press submit. What kind of name
right.
is Sad Man? That is a very unoriginal.
Hey, who's your defense this week?
My defense this week is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're down here. Yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
I like it.
I talked about it Tuesday, man.
All right.
Jacksonville Jaguars. I love them. I think they're going to do great. They're playing up. They're playing against Houston. It's time to feast, Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Bring back Saxonville.
Poor Texans.
Well, thank you guys so much for helping me adjust my lineup. Hopefully that will help me out a lot. But you guys saw where my thought process was coming from. I do like Chris Godwin. And what I like about him is that he shares the target share with Mike Evans. And week 1, they aired out the ball a lot. I believe he had like 10 targets or 10 receptions. 10 receptions from Tom Brady. And he scored about 15 points. This past week, he scored 11 points. But you know what? That's the consistency that I like. I think Chris Godwin is the consistent guy to get 12 to 15 points every single week. While Mike Evans is the guy to get a range from 10 to 30 points, but you don't know we're going to get there. I like the consistency. I like to know what I'm going to get, how to do that. Oh, we got some trash talking here in the chat over here, Reed.
Ooh, is it who we think it is? Oh, no.
Oh,
there you go. Jeez.
Yeah, you beat me. This is my worst league, that NSP league.
Yeah, you did take some risks there when you were drafting, Reed.
Yeah, I took a lot of risks for this.
Yeah,
game.
You drafted Robert Tonyan.
That has been paying off for me, AJ. Thank you very much.
And how will it pay off for our viewers come Sunday morning, Reed? Are we sticking with Robert Tonyan's corner, or what do you call it? Bobby corner?
Tonyan's corner.
Tonyan's corner. Okay.
Yes. I like Tonyan in this game. I know. Let me look. Giants are very good against tight ends, so that doesn't do us very good. But I think he's going to continue doing well. Aaron Rodgers trusts him. He likes Bobby. I think he's going to continue getting points, in my opinion.
Ooh. So Rita, I
would say 8. I would say 7, 8 plus. All right.
Okay, Rita, I want to propose a deal with you.
Oh,
you don't have to take the deal.
Are we doing a live deal right now? Is this
a live deal, man? Just to get it spicy on Saturday. We have Disley's corner now.
Oh,
Uncle Disley. He's going up against the Saints. And right now, the Saints are projected to be very good against tight ends. So hear me out. It says that Disley has been having a solid fantasy tight end season, scoring 12 points in 3 out of 4 games. But unfortunately, he should be on your bench this week. This is exactly from NFL.com. So with that said, do you think Will Disley or Robert Tonyan will do better against a defense that is tough against tight ends?
Ooh.
What's on the line here?
Yeah, what's at stake here? What's at stake?
You want to go like money, or you want to go like gentleman's respect, or what do you want to do?
Oh, screw gentleman respect.
Oh, okay.
You guys ain't gentlemen. Come on. Make this
like,
fun for me.
I didn't want to steal money from this guy.
Ooh.
Reed, you said to be smart with my money purchases, so I'm
being some V-Bucks.
All right, I'll bet you $5 that Tonyan gets more points than what's his name, Disley?
Than Uncle Will Disley.
Uncle?
Yeah, well, they call him
Uncle
Disley.
He's old as hell.
Because he looks like an uncle, bro.
Oh.
He probably is an uncle, honestly.
I wouldn't doubt it, but okay. All right, $5. I think Robert Tonyan gets more points.
Shake it down there, Reed.
You all witnessed it here in the chat.
That
this is happening.
I like it. I like it.
All right.
Nice. You know what the sad part is? That those two guys will probably score more than George Kittle.
Dude, I'm so glad I did not draft George Kittle this year because there were some opportunities where I was able to do it, and I was like, nah.
You know how much trash I got for ranking George Kittle so low and being a Niners fan?
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot of trash about it.
You did.
Jeez. Israel says, Vince, you got the first game on me. I give him that. But next game won't be the same outcome.
Oh, sure, man. We'll see.
Cowboys Country. Let's ride.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my gosh, Russell Wilson sucks, dude. But yeah, let's get into some pick'ems here. So we have a problem now. We found a site that we could also bet here in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Bison says, is Amon-Ra starting? That is the biggest question when it comes to fantasy football right now, because do you need to start Amon-Ra? Do you need to pick up Reynolds? DJ Chark is out of the question. It seems like every person from the Detroit Lions is injured. Now, Amon-Ra is a game time decision. He was very limited in practice. What was it, Thursday and Friday? Very limited practice. Honestly, in my not so pro opinion, I believe he is doubtful. I don't think the Lions should risk having Amon-Ra out there and, risk it for the rest of the season. It is a game time decision for him. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you saying that, no, he's not going to play. But me thinking about it, I don't think he is. It's too much of a risk. Too much of a risk. So starting him, you gotta wake up early, man. You gotta wake up early. I mean, it's not necessary, but just in case you do have like someone like Alan Lazard or Romeo Dobbs or what I was going to say Sterling Shepard, but he's already gone. Unless you have one of those guys, then I wouldn't risk having him in your lineup. It's a game time decision. You gotta stay updated. We will be live tweeting, so we will give updates out there live. So you can find us here on Facebook, Twitter. You can email us. We'll keep you guys updated on who is in and who is out. Okay, because that is a big question. If he is out, I highly suggest getting Reynolds in there because I do feel like he will be playing no matter what. He says, "Let's ride, baby, DC4L." That's a tough ride there. Dallas Cowboys for life. That's a tough ride.
That was Derek Carr for life.
Oh, Derek Carr for life.
I think that's what he means.
I think Israel's a Derek Carr fan.
I think so.
Good for you, Israel. You're very brave.
Yeah,
I don't know how to take that whenever someone's like, "You're very brave to do that." But yeah, let's get into some of these. First off, let's go with Daniel Jones. He is dealing with an ankle injury, so that's another he's questionable. More than likely, he will play this game, but will he score higher or lower than 15.5 fantasy points?
Ooh.
I got my answer. I'm going lower. I don't believe in this guy. I think if he does play, he will re-injure, or if he doesn't play, it's an automatic win. But if he does play, I think he will re-injure. They're going to limit him very much. They want to get the ball off quick, and they're going to rely heavily on Saquon Barkley. I got that lower.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take lower this time.
Cool. I'm not going to waste too much time by going through all of their stats, but so let's keep on going. We got Saquon Barkley over here. Saquon Barkley is going to get higher or lower than 16.5 fantasy points.
I want to hear Reed's.
I want to say lower. That's what I want to say. 16's a lot of points, guys. That's a lot of points. 16 is a lot of points.
Man, that literally.
If it was like 14, I would say yes. I'm gonna go no. I'm gonna trust my Packers that we're gonna shore up the run. All right, I'm gonna go lower.
I thought you guys were bad against the run.
We are. I'm saying that we're gonna shore it up. Okay.
Ooh.
But 16 is a lot of points, guys.
I got some stats here for us.
Okay.
He's ranked second.
So Saquon, the last time he played a defense that's ranked similarly against the run per fantasy is Carolina, and he got 11.8 points. He got the ball 21 times, only had 72 yards. So there's a stat for you. And the Green Bay Packers are ranked 14th. So Green Bay Packers should theoretically be better. Yeah, you're ranked 14th.
On fantasy, though, right?
Fantasy, yeah.
That's because a lot of the teams we have been playing are like two-back teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then theoretically,
If Saquon is getting the most of the workload, then I think he could get more than
Well, I'll give you a stat, Reed.
11.
Give you
But
another stat. He had 31 rushing attempts last week against the Bears.
I know.
Guys, are we going to ignore the fact that he's the number 1 ranked running back in fantasy?
He is.
That
He is the
doesn't
number one.
change the fact that it's a lot of points.
He's only had one game where he had
18.
under 18 points. He only had one game under 18 points. Week 1, 33. Week 2,
you can
11.
go higher if you want, man. I'm gonna take the lower. I'm gonna trust the Packers. All right.
This is getting low here.
I think we're going higher, bro. I'm going higher.
All right.
After looking at this stat and knowing that Daniel Jones is injured,
I think
he's
Saquon,
playing. He's playing.
he's playing, but doesn't mean he's not injured. Oh, I can't. I gotta go with it, man. I got Saquon Barkley going higher than 16 points. We're gonna skip these guys here because who wants to talk about these guys? Let's go over here with Aaron Rodgers. Will he get more than 32?
Go to fantasy points. It's on the third one.
Okay, hey,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay.
All right, dude. Jeez. Will you get more or less than 16.95 fantasy points? Basically 17 fantasy points. That's an easy one for me. I'm going lower here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go lower. I would like for him to have more, but I'll take the lower.
What is his stats? So what does he normally average in fantasy points?
It's not
this
very
year.
high.
Not very good.
Not very high this year at
I know
all.
it's not good. I know he's ranked 21st when it comes
he's
to
averaging
quarterbacks.
13 points per game.
Yeah.
He's only has all his games are averaging, besides game 1 when he went against Minnesota, 16 points across the board.
That's tough. Yeah, each and every one of his games is 16 points.
Mhm.
Wow.
But none of them are over 16.95.
I think this is going to be an exciting game. So me personally, I wouldn't take that bet, but if I had to, I would say lower. That's tough, man.
I think the interesting one here is if he scores 2 passing touchdowns, because on every game except the Vikings game, which was week 1, he has exactly 2 touchdowns for passing touchdowns. So I think maybe that one is the safer bet, but I don't think he scores against above 16.96 fantasy points.
Yeah. So we're taking the lower there.
Yeah.
We'll do lower.
Okay, Aaron Jones. I like this. He's going to get 14 fantasy points. I think that's a no for me as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's a no. I'm sticking with my guns here. I think AJ Dillon's still going to slowly get a lot of workload. I know he hasn't been great this last week for fantasy wise, but I think this week could be different.
Let's see here. I have his stats pulled up. He only has 1 game, 2 games that are over 14.05 points. Last week he got 14.5 against New England. But the other game that he did really, really well was against the Chicago Bears. We got 32 points.
Mm-hmm.
But right now he's averaging just about 13 to 14 carries a game after week 1, of course, because he was irrelevant when they played the Vikings. But I think I'm going to say he's going to go over 14.05 points.
Okay.
I'm going with over.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a big factor in this game.
All right, cool. I got outvoted here, so he's going to go higher than 14 fantasy points. Let's see what's up. AJ Dillon, I just want to see which projected. He's projected to get about 10 points for fantasy-wise. I think it's about right. And Lazard, we'll go to the next team here. Justin Herbert, he's still playing a little banged up, but will he get more than 20 fantasy points?
I don't think so.
Cleveland
has a good defense, and Myles Garrett's coming back this game. He's going to have a big game, in my opinion. Still playing banged up. I got to go take the lower here.
Okay. Good for me. Austin Eckler will keep on going. We'll find the next team. Jacoby Brissett. Let's find someone else. Nick Chubb. I like Nick Chubb here.
I got a bet on Nick Chubb over here as well.
Is he going to score more than 13 fantasy points?
I said yes. I have him as
one
of my picks. One of my picks for one of my bets.
You have him as one of your picks?
Yeah, I put in $10 for 4 picks, and he's one of those picks. And if I get all those picks correct, I could win $100.
Oh wow!
I think this is a for sure bet with Nick Chubb. He's been doing amazing lately.
Okay.
Literally, his lowest points scored as of here is 17.3.
Jeez, yeah. I wonder what they go off by. Probably about their own system, right?
Yeah. Some of them they'll give you the picks, and then some of them they'll be like, nah, this is like right on the border of their usual.
Let's get everyone's favorite here. Darnell Mooney. I'll get the lower here.
100% the lower.
Lower, bro. He's
100%.
They're projecting him to get 9 fantasy points with 4 receptions and 50 receiving yards. That's that. I don't like that. I don't like Darnell Mooney. I don't like their offense.
So bad.
I'm going. Kirk Cousins. 17.55. Oh, Mr. Fantasy reliable. We're taking over or under on 17.55 fantasy points.
I'm gonna take it over because it's not a primetime game.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, I like that.
I see him going against the Bears. I would say over. I think Justin Jefferson's going to be the main reason why he's going to go over. So I would pick the higher there.
All right, Dalvin Cook.
That one's tough.
I guess Chicago? Yeah. I see it.
Yeah.
I'd say higher than
Yeah.
Let's keep on moving then. Derrick Henry, here's another one here. He doesn't have a fantasy one, but will he have more than 14 receiving yards? I know this one. I feel like I know this with my heart.
No.
Lower. This guy does not receive the ball. He does not like catching the ball. He's not great at catching the ball. He would definitely be lower than 14.5 receiving yards. I might just pick that up as one of my locks. Robert Woods, he might have a good game with Treylon Burks being out, but we'll see. He hasn't really been showing up this year. Carson Wentz, huge mistake. Antonio Gibson. Reed, you have Antonio Gibson on your team now.
I do.
How do you think he's going to do this week? You think he's going to have all they have is receiving here. Do you think he's going to have 52.5 rushing and receiving yards combined?
I would sure hope so. And a touchdown to go with it. I'm going to go against Tennessee. I'm going to go higher.
You're going to go higher?
Yeah.
I like this bet.
Higher. Yeah.
I like this bet too. I don't know if I'll take it. I need a lock because I lost $5 for Thursday Night Football. Freaking.
Oh yeah.
Freaking guys. Yeah.
Concussions.
Oh, let's hit the Jacksonville Jaguars here. Is there any fantasy? I want some Travis Etienne. You think he's going to do anything? He hasn't been producing that much, has he?
No, it's been so quiet.
The one that I have is James Robinson. I don't know if James Robinson is there, but I have him higher than 61 point. Well, on mine it was 61.5 rushing yards. Now they've put it higher.
This is rushing and receiving.
Huh. I chose the higher on the 61.5 rushing yard just because I did my research on that one, and he's averaging more than that.
Really?
So, yeah, I don't think him going against Houston is going to be bad. I think the only game that he did bad was last week when they lost.
Yeah.
He had like 29 rushing yards, something like that, but they did not use him whatsoever.
Ooh.
Let's see.
I kind of like that. I like the Christian Kirk with 5.5 receptions. He'll get over that. Oh, okay.
Ooh, this is your alley, AJ, right here. You got both of those guys.
Oh, I love this, dude. I love this. Ramondre Stevenson or Jeff Wilson Jr., full PPR. The Joker. Hey, appreciate you being here live, man. This is our first time doing Fantasy Football Talk live on Saturday. We usually do it Tuesday at 6 o'clock, but thank you for joining us. Bears fan. Good for you, man. Justin Fields. Ramondre Stevenson or Jeff Wilson Jr., full PPR. If you're looking to start someone here, I will fully start Jeff Wilson Jr. Just because the defense that they're going up against is ranked 25th against the rush. And right now, as you saw these past 2 weeks, Jeff Wilson Jr. is the bell cow of the defense. Obviously, we lost our starting running back, which is Elijah Mitchell. And we also had a huge injury, TDP, who is now out. So Jeff Wilson Jr. is taking the workload for the team. I think we just saw he had close to 30 rush attempts last week. Right, so he had close to 30 rush attempts last week. He had a 22 rush touchdown, so that was extremely great. Um, but yeah, definitely start Jeff Wilson Jr. He will not hit the targets, but he will hit the rush attempts and get the yardage that you need. He's not a flashy guy, not a big touchdown guy, but he will rack up points because of how many times he does get the ball. But I do want to add something in here. Jeff Wilson Jr. is something. Yeah, I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate you being here. And once you win, because you have Jeff Wilson Jr. in, we'll clink a beer together. But for now, I'll do a water with you. But yeah, no, I will say this: Jeff Wilson Jr. is one of my guys that I have on sell high. Okay, I have him on sell high. You don't need to do it now. There's no rush. Okay, but Elijah Mitchell is coming back. TDP is coming back. Elijah Mitchell has been gone for now 4 weeks, another 4 more weeks, and now he's coming back. So you got Jeff Wilson Jr. for at least another solid 2 to 3 weeks to be producing some running back one numbers. But that's quickly going to come to an end because Shanahan loves to rotate his running backs that he trusts. And right now, 2 out of the 3 running backs that he trusts are injured. Once they start coming back, his production is going to go down way under. But it's okay. Don't panic. Ramondre Stevenson, like I've been preaching all year long, he's slowly taking that lead role over there in New England, taking that running back one position. We see it already that he's getting more fantasy points over Damian Harris, and I feel like that's going to keep on going and continue to grow. So you're in a good spot, my man. But definitely this week, Jeff Wilson Jr. going against the Carolina Panthers. I'm not going to say it because I'm a Niners fan, but let's say they're in a huge lead. They're going to run out that clock. And Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to be that guy. So good luck in your fantasy game, my man. Appreciate you being here. If you're feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. We just hit 200. We're doing a huge giveaway. We got an autographed mini helmet that we will be giving away. We're going to be releasing some details out there in our social media. So we are on Twitter, Facebook. Go find us out there. We're also on TikTok on NSP Football Talk. We got some weird, cool, funny stuff out there. Go check us out. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, no, I love that question. I love how people are starting to pick up that Ramondre Stevenson is slowly becoming that guy. And Jeff Wilson Jr., like we said 2 weeks ago, he was owned in less than 40% of leagues. And now he's owned in 46% of leagues, if I'm not mistaken, just on top of my head. He's slowly becoming the guy, and people are more and more getting into that trend. But
they should be, man. I think right now in the past 3 weeks he's averaging like 15 points a game. So I'm amazed why he's not on more fantasy leagues.
Common mistakes with the Niners, man. Common mistakes. You don't trust the Niners running back unless they're all injured. Yeah, that's why everyone liked Raheem Mostert when he was on that hot seat because he was a guy. But yeah. Let's get into Geno for Vincent. Is he going to have higher or lower than 17 fantasy points?
Higher or lower than 17 fantasy points? This is a tough one just because he's going against New Orleans. They're the number, I think, 9 ranked team against quarterbacks and all that stuff. So I think, we got a question here. Start one at flex: Samuel, McLaurin, Montgomery, or Penny, or Herbert.
Oh, you want me to go? Or you go?
I'm just reading the question. In my opinion, I don't know which Samuel he's talking about, but in my opinion,
I'm pretty sure he's talking about Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel? Okay, I don't know if he was talking about Debo or not, but if Debo's
if it's Debo, yeah. You feed the dog, man.
Here's my thing. I think Montgomery is coming back this week.
He is.
I think they're going to use the heck out of him, but I don't know if they're going to go 50-50 with him and Herbert. So that's my predicament there. I think Penny's going to get the majority of the workload, and last week he went off Curtis Samuel. Okay. I do have Debo. Oh, see, there you go. I telekinesis right here. I knew it. But I'm biased. I would go Penny because I think right now he's finding his rhythm, and he's going to have some big plays in there, possibly some for touchdowns because every time he has a big play, usually gets down to the goal line or he gets a touchdown in there. So I would go Penny, but I'll let these guys determine if I'm being biased or not.
I don't think you're being biased. I'm not necessarily crazy about who you have on flex. First off, I do want to say appreciate you being here and join us live. We do go Fantasy Football Talk live every Tuesday. We're trying out for Saturday. And he has Waddle. Okay, but I'm more than sure he has Waddle and Debo starting. So yeah, for sure. That's a good starting. But Waddle's dealing with the injury, so he is a game time decision as well. I do believe he will play. But start one at flex. He has Curtis Samuel, Scary Terry, not so scary anymore. David Montgomery, Penny, and Khalil Herbert. Montgomery is back. He will be playing. Now, are they going to be playing him in a limited snap position? I don't know. If he's playing, I'm not starting Montgomery. I'm not starting Herbert. Period. Okay, just because I don't like the whole, we're going to be limiting him in snaps, so we're sharing this, that. They are a run-heavy team. Once Montgomery is fully healthy, you start that dude, okay? But right now, Montgomery, Herbert, out. McLaurin, he hasn't been making a big fuss, and I don't like him. I like Curtis Samuel more than I like Scary Terry because Curtis Samuel not only gets the target share that he deserves, but he also gets the rush attempts that someone like a Deebo Samuel would get as well. Now, they are going against the Tennessee Titans. I'm not fond of their defense. I don't think they are phenomenal. I do feel like Samuel could have a good game, but I feel like Curtis Samuel is a consistent guy. I think last week he scored 9-10 fantasy points. That's not bad for a flex position, if you ask me, especially if you have Jalen Waddle and Deebo Samuel as your running back 1 and 2. I mean, wide receiver 1 and 2. So Curtis Samuel, for me, I like it because I'm comfortable there. Penny, he has the highest seeding out of all these guys. Now, they are going up against who are you guys going up against? We just talked
New
about
Orleans.
this, right? New Orleans, who do have a tougher defense than the Detroit Lions. So I don't think Penny's going to have a field day like he did last week. He's going to have a little bit more of a challenge. So if you're asking me, and this could be biased as well, so that's why I'm going to hand the mic off to Reed, I would have Curtis Samuel just because of the consistency that he has had all season long. I think it's a good flex. And honestly, last week was his worst week, and they were going up against the Cowboys. They were going against the Cowboys. Now they're going against a Tennessee Titans team that really hasn't found themselves, that don't really have the courage that they need to win games. But yeah, I would either go Curtis Samuel or Rashad Penny. Montgomery, Herbert, out. McLaurin, wouldn't mess with that. I'm a Curtis Samuel guy. I've been preaching it ever since the preseason. Okay. Reed, you got to break the tie here, man.
I really like Curtis Samuel, so I want to go with AJ. But man, the Titans, I'm kind of looking at McLaurin a little bit. The Titans are really bad against wide receivers. They're the 4th worst. So I kind of want to go McLaurin here. I think you have a big game, which is what he's been really missing this year. He's been very, very quiet so far. Getting solid points, but he's been very quiet, especially this last week. But I'm going to go with the safer pick. I think I'm going to go with Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
I'm looking at Curtis Samuel, and the lowest in receptions was last week. Other than that, he had 7, 7, and 8 as his receptions. So right there, if you are in a PPR league, it's already 7 to 8 points. And then I'm looking at his points right now, and his lowest is 13 besides last week when he played Dallas. But if you compare it to when he played Detroit, which is a better defense than Tennessee during the past, he got 22 points. So, yeah, maybe I'm going to change my pick to Samuel. I'm a big stats guy, so once you see that stuff, it's like he's a for sure type of guy who's going to get the ball from Mr. Carson Wentz.
For sure. And, I mean, Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin, they do have similar stats. I mean, the first 3 weeks, Terry McLaurin always had more than 12 points. Yep. So I like that, right? But last week he did struggle, and where Curtis Samuel could make up for that is his rush attempts, the way they use him. So yeah, hey, good luck out there to you. Hopefully you start Curtis Samuel if you take our advice, and hopefully you win your game. Hopefully Deebo has a great game for my sake, because I'm looking forward just to sitting down and relaxing and enjoying the game. We got another question. Curtis Samuel or Cooks? And since I know his roster, I know he's not talking about Dalvin Cook. He's talking about the wide receiver
Brandon Cooks.
And he's asked me so many times because he knows I'm not very fond of Cooks. So let's get y'all's input here.
Cooks, I'm looking up his stuff right now.
I have his stuff up right now. So
okay, go ahead.
Can I say thank you real quick? Menchie saying thank you. He says, thank you guys. You'll actually go into depth than any other YouTubers just subbed. I'll be here next Tuesday and Saturday. Hey, dude, I appreciate you joining us live.
Really
We
appreciate
are a
it.
small channel. We are trying to grow, as you could tell. And like I said, we hit 200 subscribers earlier this week. So we will be doing a giveaway. Any questions you have, we'll be more than happy to go in depth. This is what we do. We love doing this, and we're not going to fall apart. Doesn't matter how many subscribers we have. We will try to find time to answer everyone's question and give you the right advice because we're excited. We want you guys to win. You know, you're taking the time to watch us. We want to take the time to give you some good advice.
Exactly.
So Samuel Cooks.
I'm not too sure if I'm very fond of Cooks this week.
No.
Just because they're going against Jacksonville. If they were going against anybody else, like maybe in week 7 when they play against the Las Vegas Raiders, I like him in that game because the Raiders are not very good. Besides some of their safeties, they play decent sometimes. But Jacksonville has just been playing very well. They're going to get a lot of pressure on Davis Mills because that line is falling apart as we speak. They're practicing right now, and they're going to drills, and they're probably stumbling in the drills or something. But the Texans right now are not very good on offense. They don't score a lot of points anymore. Cooks will get the targets, but he will not get the receptions.
Yeah, very true. Like you said earlier, they got some ball hawks out there in Jacksonville. He also says, "What's the update on Armando?" We actually answered the question a little bit earlier this episode. The update is that he's game time decision. Now he's very limited in practice this past couple of days, but am I confident that he's going to play? Not at all. Am I going to say you should start him? I think it's kind of a love you. I think it's kind of a too much of a risk, especially if you got some guys that you might need to start, like Alan Lazar. Romeo Dobbs was playing early on Sunday, so his game time decision. Stay updated on that. It is scary. I think he is actually doubtful. He says Deontay, Duvernay, no Bateman, Mostert, or Mooney in flex. Pick one, full PPR. Hey, man, we do our research. We know Bateman is out for the game. So Duvernay should have more targets. As far as receptions, actually, that guy has great hands. I do feel like he could find the ball, and they utilize him a lot in the red zone. So I like that. Deontay, I'm not so excited about that, because they just transitioned to a new quarterback, and I do feel like Pickens will be that lead target for the Steelers. Mostert, I'm not too happy with that either. I love Raheem the Dream Mostert because he was with the San Francisco 49ers, but over there they do run a two-headed monster with Chase Edmonds and Raheem the Dream Mostert, so you're going to have 50-50 rushing share, so it's a 50-50 chance whether he excels or not. Darnell Mooney, do I got to go into that?
Throw him out.
Get him out.
Throw him out.
Get him out. Yeah. Duvernay is your guy, especially for a flex. Yeah. I think it's great. A lot of people are using him as a wide receiver too. So for you to have him as a flex option, I think that's awesome, my man. I would definitely go to Duvernay if I were you, especially with no Bateman.
Exactly. Yeah, I think right now Duvernay averages like 2 receptions a game, but without Bateman, I think he averages more.
Keenan Allen, he is out. He is not going to be playing. Get Palmer. He is going to be good for at least one more week. Another question: Cooper or Lockett? Amari Cooper, we saw him flash that one game, but ever since then, he's been like, what's going on? Now, Lockett, we all know Geno Smith got written off, but he never wrote back, right? Now, is he going to write to Lockett? I know DK Metcalf had a wonderful game last week, but that was against the Detroit Lions. Vince, I'll let you answer this question just because you already know where I'm going to go with this.
Here's the thing. Cooper has had 2 good games where he scores above 20. But one game he had last week was against a very, very easy defense to go against, and he scored 1.9 points. He's very risky. In my opinion, Tyler Lockett is the safer bet. He might not get the most points, but he is the safer bet. I think right now he's averaging about 10 to 13 points, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't really kept up with him because I only have him in one league. But
Lockett?
I think Lockett is the better
pick.
He
went 5.8, 19.7, 16.6, 13.1. He's had a very good start this season.
So the past 3 games, he's been averaging way more than just 10. So in my opinion, I think Lockett is the better bet here. Geno Smith will have some trouble against New Orleans in that defense, but I think Lockett will get his touches.
You know what? this would never happen, but I'm going to agree with Vince here. I like Lockett more than Cooper just because I don't trust that offense that the Cleveland Browns are running with. And what I do like about Lockett is that week one, I'm just going to throw that away. Okay. Let's just say they're trying to get the grooves going. He had 11 targets week 2, 11 targets week 3, 8 targets week 4. He's gaining the targets. So it's up to him, and he is a vet wide receiver. He should be scoring more points than Amari Cooper this week. Hey, Gavin, appreciate you being here. Thank you. If you're feeling generous, hit that subscribe button. As you can tell, we are a small channel trying to grow. Thank you so much for taking your time and taking a chance on us. John Sims, should I trade Jamar Chase for Mike and Jacobs? Is he talking about Mike Williams?
I'm pretty sure he's talking about
I
Mike
would assume so.
Here's the thing. Jamar Chase might come into his own later in the season, so just have that in your mind. Right now, he's struggling a little bit because they're still trying to find their way, still trying to find out what that offense wants to be, and if Jamar is going to come out again and break out at the end of the season like he did last year. But Jacobs right now is good. Very, very good, and he's going to stay.
Mike Evans.
Mike
Evans.
Oh, this completely changes everything.
Agree. Yes.
Do
it.
Yes. Do it right now.
Yes.
Stop what you're doing. Stop watching us. Go do it. Go get it done.
Do it right now.
Go right now, John.
You need him for
that
tomorrow.
changed the whole conversation.
Johnny Sims. Johnny Sims. That's what I would call him. Johnny Sims. But dude, yes, do it. I love Mike Evans and Josh Jacobs. Yeah. I've been preaching about preseason. Even the preseason, I was like, draft this guy low. He is going to be on the up and up, and right now he is on the up and up. I'm telling you, this guy is super exciting to watch. It's super exciting to know that the Raiders are actually utilizing him because they finally realized, hey, Derek Carr can't get the ball down to Devontae Adams all the time. Let's get the ball to Jacobs. It's it. Josh Jacobs is it. Jamar Chase, he's struggling, especially with Joe Burrow not having enough time to go deep for him. Make that trade, my man. And if you get it, congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah. Come back and comment if you get that, because if you do, we praise you, because that's a steal.
Armando says, in case Amon does not play, should I go with Duvernay or stay with Connor as a flex? Now, you know me. I'm a big James Conner guy because not only does he get the rushes, but he also gets the targets. So I love it. I love it. But I like Duvernay here. The Baltimore Ravens are not a pass-heavy team. We all know that. They like to run the ball, whether it be Lamar Jackson or J.K. Dobbins, who is a must start this week. But Rashad Bateman is out. So if Amon-Ra does not play, I would say start Duvernay. The one thing I did like about Duvernay was the target shares, but I do like how they utilize him in the red zone. But with Rashad Bateman out, Duvernay is the dude. Duvernay is the dude. So if he is out, I'd rather start Duvernay over Connor, even though I do believe that Connor is a more stable flex. He will give you the points that you need consistently, but Duvernay is super exciting. I think he can score a lot of points this week. Michaelesri says, should I trade CMC, Elijah Moore, and Tyler Conklin for Juju, Dallas Goedert, and Debo?
It's a big trade.
Ooh. So the big guys I'm looking at right there.
Okay, he just repeated. Hey, we're going to answer everybody's question, okay? Whoever sends a question in, we're going to take the time to answer because we appreciate every single one of y'all who are taking the time out of your day to join us live here on a Saturday night instead of going out with your girl or your side chick or your guy or your side guy, whatever. We're having fun here, okay? So we'll answer any question. Appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so much. He says, should I trade CMC, Elijah Moore, and Tyler Conklin for Juju, Dallas Goedert, and Debo? He has a good running back core. So obviously, yeah.
I want to know what his running back core is. If you can comment your running back core for sure, I will tell you yes or no on this trade. But so far it looks good. Debo, I like him. Juju, I do not.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert, I don't like him more than Tyler Conklin, but that's just me because I am very big on Tyler Conklin this year. But Elijah Moore, he's disappointment for me. I drafted him in 2 leagues, disappointed me. CMC, I mean, injury prone all the time, but he's been doing good lately. But this week he might not do that great. So I say no at this point, but I want to know your running back room.
And your tight end. I want to know your tight end as well. He says he has Derrick Henry and Fournette, a 12-man team. That is never easy. So I do applaud you for, being out there in a 12-man team. Me personally, I think I like it. Okay. Like Vincent said, I am not high on Juju Smith-Schuster. For why, they're sharing too many targets. The only person that I like there offensively is Patrick Mahomes and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. CMC, let's do what we did last week, right? I'm gonna reverse it. CMC, Deebo Samuel. I like CMC, right? Tyler Conklin, Dallas Goedert. We talk about Tyler Conklin a lot. We do. He's on the up and up. But I like Dallas Goedert a little bit more because the Philadelphia Eagles have something going on for them. So he's going to be successful, and he's going to have a chance at a touchdown every single game. I like Dallas Goedert. Elijah Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, they kind of fizzle each other out, right? But I think I'd rather have Deebo and Goddard over CMC and Tyler Conklin just because of consistency. CMC, ever since the season started, it's been like, oh, he's limited in practice. Oh, he injured his shin. Oh, you don't want to be the edge of your seat every single week. Like, come on, bro. Just play. Just play. And I know it's not the same. It's similar to Deebo because he gets injured a lot, but this year he hasn't really shown that much. So I would make that trade. Am I hot about the trade? Not necessarily, but I do feel like it will be a good win. A good small win.
I agree.
Thank you. Good job, Raw. Hey, dude, appreciate you coming back, man. We recognize you. Appreciate you coming back from Tuesday's stream. We decided to do another fantasy show just because of how popular it got. He says, do I start Kamara at flex or Mike Evans?
Mike.
Yeah. Mike. I like Mike Evans more.
It is. But why is he at your flex? Who do you have as your wide receiver?
I know, man.
You dog. Who do you have out there that you get to say that
you have trouble putting in Mike Evans in your lineup? You got some good wide receivers on the first two.
This guy has 99 problems, but fantasy ain't one, man. It ain't one. And I feel like we were bloating on his team last week as well. He does have a very good team, but normally Kamara is a great flex. I do want to answer this now. I do want to answer this because Amon is a game time decision. Unless something happened the past hour, because we actually been live for an hour already. Unless something happened the past hour where Amon Ra's 100% starting, I would actually switch Mike Evans to your starting wide receiver just in case something happens. You got to stay on it. We will be tweeting live. Reed is our tweeting guy right here, but we'll all be on it. We'll give you guys some live updates on who will be in and who will be out. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter or email us. And we're also on TikTok and NSP Football Talk. Go check us out there. We have some cool content out there. But I'm just worried about Amon. I'm just worried about Amon starting or not. Clearly, Amon is your wide receiver 1. I think Mike Evans should be your 2, and Higgins should be your flex. But if you're in a league where rotation doesn't matter, you're in a good position. I would definitely choose Mike Evans over Kamara. You're in a good position. If Amon doesn't play, put Mike Evans in, put Kamara as your flex. It's a win-win-win. Good job, man. Good job. Which running back? McCaffrey, Mixon, Jacob Conner. Should I leave behind this week? McCaffrey is going against the 49ers defense. We did talk about this earlier. So CMC, he is going against the best defense in the world. But if you want to cut it short, best defense in the league, best fantasy defense, whatever you want to call it, right? They're the best, whatever. But yeah, CMC is a little worrisome. I still like him this week because Nick Bosa, the dog, is going against a rookie left tackle, Ika Mekwonu, who has been struggling this year. Baker Mayfield, lowest QBR. Can't get the ball down to his receivers. That's on him. Who are they going to rely on? Not so much handing the ball off, but dumping the ball off to CMC. So I do feel like he will get a lot of points, especially in a PPR league. Don't know what kind of league you're in on this one. But I like McCaffrey in there. But you got McCaffrey, Mixon, Jacobs, and Connor. If you want to have consistent points, I would have Mixon, Jacob, Connor. If you want to have explosive points, McCaffrey, Mixon, Jacob.
Yep.
What do y'all think?
I would agree with that. McCaffrey, I don't think he's going to have the biggest game ever against the Niners. So I think the safe bet is maybe potentially sitting him this week.
Yeah, man. Right now, the guy that I'm leaning towards on keeping out of the lineup is most likely going to be Mixon or Connor. So right now, I think Connor is the guy to leave out just because I looked at his points just a little while ago. He has 2 games that are single digits. So in my opinion, he's a consistent guy who's going to give you above 6 points every game, but it's dependent on if he gets a touchdown or not, if he goes over into that double-digit type of points. So in my opinion, I think McCaffrey is the safer bet here, even though he is a boomer bust this week against the 49ers. But you and your son, AJ, know that a lot. You know how good the 49ers defense is. You know how good you're going to be against certain teams. So in my opinion, I think McCaffrey, Mixon, and Jacobs are the safe bet here, especially since Mixon is going against the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are not good against the run, so Mixon should be getting some good touches and getting some receptions. Oh my jeez.
Rar says I'm 3-1 now, lost 151.52 against 151.30 because Kittle wanted to block all game.
Dude, that sucks.
Wow. Hey man.
This is why I hate fantasy, man. How do you put up that many points and then still lose? This is why the one thing I hate about fantasy.
Rar, I'm a little disappointed. I will admit, I'm a little disappointed. I was probably the only 49ers fan that you listen to, if you listen to any Niners fan, that said sit George Kittle, sell high on George Kittle. Right now, the 49ers offensive line is banged up, brother. They are banged up to the point where they need help. And the help is Kyle Juszczyk, our fullback, and George Kittle, our tight end. So fantasy-wise, he is not going to be getting any points. He is not going to be getting a lot of targets. It's unfortunate because he is a stud, but sell high on George Kittle while you can. Sell high. He will have a game or two where he explodes and has 16, 20 points, but you're only going to have 2 of those minimum. I mean, it's not going to be crazy. He is not the greatest fantasy tight end. He does all the dirty work for the Niners, but that does not allow him to rack up any points for fantasy. So, man, yeah, that blows. That definitely blows. That was such a close game. You have such a great team as well, especially 2 teams that are scoring 151 points. I mean, wow. No, good for y'all. Good for you.
Yeah, but, man. I think someone on one of our leagues had that problem too. They scored like 160 points, but that was the game I had the game of my life, and I scored like 180. So I feel for you because I've been on both ends where you lose by less than 0.5 of a point, and you win and you ruin someone's day or a week, especially when you win with the defense, right, AJ?
Hey, why are you telling me? Well, why are you telling me?
I'm just you work with the guy, man, so I know he was talking about it for a little while.
One of my clients was going up against this guy right here, and he lost by a few points because the 49ers defense got 22 points. So now he's letting me have it.
I bet you he was like, lime time.
He was. He texted me. He's like, I won. That's it. I won. I didn't know you had the Niners defense left. I would have told you to hold your breath. But
you were gonna predict 22 points, AJ?
Oh man, the minimum.
Oh, come on.
For
Get
the Niners,
Get out
I guess
of
the
here.
Rams. The Niners own the Rams. I guess I can't say that, right, because of the playoffs. But if you look at their record, the Niners do dominate, and it's a great matchup for the Niners.
Yes.
And if you have the Niners defense, which is owned in 95% of leagues, they're going to feast once again against the Carolina Panthers. Once again. Yeah.
I believe I still have them in.
On the 49ers side, honestly, the only fantasy players that you should have are Deebo Samuel, Jeff Wilson Jr. for now, and the defense.
Yep.
That's all you should have. You shouldn't have anyone else. Like I said, if you got George Kittle, try to sell high while you can before it's too late, because there's going to become a time where people are like, oh, no, I don't want George Kittle. You know, some people will still have that hope. But yeah.
Yeah, man.
Cool, man. Yeah, we got some good questions here. But what was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Another guy who I'm not very fond of is Darren Waller, the tight end from the Las Vegas Raiders. What do y'all think about him? Should I sell high on him?
It just depends on who you get back. But I think right now the Raiders are just in a big slump. I think Devontae Adams is their like main focus on getting him targets and stuff like that. So Darren Waller definitely took the back seat to that. And now that Josh Jacobs is back, I don't think Darren Waller is going to get that many touches as well. So I think his stock goes down.
You think I should sell high?
I would sell high.
If you could, yeah.
Maybe don't get like a tight end back for it, but something else, of course. Because
Brar says, "Oh, sorry, go ahead." Brar says Debo was on the other team, so he knew he was doing primetime merchant. You know what, Debo? You know he does. It does look like he does go all out when it's primetime, but the difference is now is that Jimmy G is back in the driver's seat. So now that Jimmy G is back in the driver's seat, he needs a crutch, and his crutch, you know, before Debo, it was George Kittle. But now that he has some wide receivers, he doesn't choose Brandon Ayuk. So if you got Brandon Ayuk, I'm sorry, but fantasy-wise, he's done for the season. Jawan Jennings, he only uses him on third downs. But for running and dump passes and the somewhat deep ball that he has is Deebo Samuel. So that's what you get when you have Jimmy G in the driver's seat. But yeah, cool. I feel like we answered a lot of fantasy questions here today. I appreciate every single one of y'all that actually came out here, joined us live, asked us questions. You know, we're here every Tuesday, 6 o'clock for fantasy football talk. This is the first time we tried out Saturday night, see how it went. It did take a little while for people to start joining in, but you know what? I do think of it as a positive. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and good luck this week. You know, good luck tomorrow. Hopefully you guys hit big. Hopefully you guys win big, and hopefully you guys could get some bragging rights. You know, Joe still finish last. If you finish last, that's the worst, especially if there's a consequence within your league. I feel like there's a consequence in every league, right? If there's a consequence within your league, that's good luck if that's happening. But if you're watching this video, if you're watching any of our fantasy videos, you should not finish last. You should be competing for first place, guaranteed. We helped out so many people, and we got a lot of clients out there. But thank you all so much. Yeah, we do. Thank you all so much. Join us Monday for our next live show at 6 o'clock. Until next time, you guys, keep on grinding.